It is January the 12th, Wednesday in 2017. And it's about time we found out something about Great Decisions. It's a group that has met here for many, many years. And I'd like to know a little more about how it got started and what Great Decisions really is. So we're with Gladys Baker and Barbara Kalke. And Barbara, I'll let you start.
All right. I've already been introduced, so let me just give you a little bit of background. My husband, Ken, and I were asked to join the Great Decisions Committee in 2015. And then in 2016, Gladys asked if I would be a co-leader on the committee with her. And now we're heading into our second year. Gladys has been on this committee for the last 13 years. The Great Decision program has been running at Green Spring for 17 years, and Marion Burgett, who's also on the committee, has been involved since then. Dorothy Wheeler has been active for 11 years, and this year we asked Don Perkins to join us. Gladys is going to give us a little history of the Foreign Policy Association.
Yes, actually, it was established in 1918. The Foreign Policy Association is an independent, nonprofit stimulating wider interest in and greater understanding of world affairs. Since 1954, Great Decisions discussion programs broaden the civic participation in the decision-making of U.S. foreign policy through peer-led discussion groups. Actually, some of the groups, not at Green Spring, but are smaller than we are, but they do the same thing we do. FPA takes no position on matters of foreign policy. Rather, the organization seeks to provide objective, nonpartisan information on timely issues through publications, websites, and forums. Now, Barbara, you're going to tell us a little bit about the briefing books?
I plan to. This is the briefing book. It's produced by the Foreign Policy Association. It contains expert articles on each of the 8 subjects we're going to address. It includes maps as well as historical background information. Buying a book is not a requirement to attend, but if anyone is still interested in getting one, talk to one of the committee members or go online and Google Foreign Policy Association and you can order a book online. This year, we actually have sold 53 books. That's sort of a record for us. And it included the original order plus a second order, and I'm finished now. So as I say, if anybody wants a book, go online. And everyone is welcome, book or not. It's not exclusive to anybody.
And when is it you meet?
The Great Decision meets on the first and the third Wednesdays during the months of February, March, April, and May. We meet in the Akatink room from 10:30 a.m. to 12 noon. Watch Channel 6 for notices of dates and program topics. Also the bulletin boards. In each clubhouse we'll have posters as well as on the village bridge. So we try to keep everybody well informed. This year's topics are very challenging ones. We're having difficulty finding speakers, but we are succeeding. And if you look at the news or pick up a newspaper or a magazine, then you know that something is happening almost daily. Our first program is on Wednesday, February 1st at 10:30 in the Akatink room, as I said, and we will be discussing the future of Europe and the European Union. We will begin with a 30-minute DVD, which is standard for every program that we run. And this includes interviews. That DVD is actually produced by the Foreign Policy Association. And then we follow it with a speaker and then open the floor to questions and comments. Our first speaker this year is again Ambassador Richard Kuzlarich, who has joined us in the past 2 years. He will be bringing his own insights on the subject, as well as bringing us up to date and more current than the briefing book and the DVD. Of course, this book has been published a while ago, and the DVD also, and as you know, things change daily.
Yes, they do.
Hopefully he will be more current than that. The second topic, trade and politics and jobs, is definitely all over the news. We will deal with the China issues and trade agreements such as the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the North American Free Trade Association. These are all topics that we've been hearing on the news again, and many others. And we expect to have a speaker from the Mercatus Center, an economic think tank in Arlington. The third program, another one that's in the news, the South China Sea. It's going to be held on March 1st. China is making loud claims to the territory, increasing its naval presence to the dismay of other countries in the region. And we will have one topic on the Middle East. This year, Saudi Arabia in transition, and that's scheduled for March 15th. Gladys?
Well, actually, that covers February and March.
Correct.
And April, we have two topics. The first one is U.S. foreign policy and petroleum. And of course, in today's world, this is going on all the time. You can tell by your gas prices. And this is written by Jonathan Chanis in the book. And what is the effect of U.S. petroleum security on foreign policy? For 45 years, the country has alternated between periods of energy security and insecurity, sometimes able to wield petroleum as a useful instrument of foreign policy, sometimes not. Despite the so-called energy revolution, the U.S. today is by no means disentangled from foreign dependence and global trends. In order to be successful, policymakers must recognize both petroleum security circumstances and patterns in the relationship between petroleum and foreign policy. This is a no-brainer for me. It's very difficult for me to get my brain into it, try to really understanding this. But when I listen, I gain something so that I know you have a representative and a senator, call them and tell them what you're thinking. Our next one, the last one in April, is Latin America. And right now, with the threat of offense going up, why, we understand that we need to know all the current information we can. The pendulum of Latin American politics is swinging rightward once again. Yet as the pink tide recedes, the forces of change have more to do with socioeconomics than ideology. Dramatic economic and political crises have coincided in countries like Brazil and Venezuela. Still, the final result for Latin America may be the emergence of centrist, pragmatic modes of government, and with them, opportunities for the U.S. to improve relations. This is difficult, but I hope what they have in the book and what our speaker can bring us will encourage us to think this is possible. The new administration must look beyond the neoliberal model of the 1990s and develop an approach to relations for the 21st century. In May, the first topic is going to be Afghanistan, Pakistan. Major internal conflict has plagued Afghanistan for 4 decades. The U.S., for its part, has conducted military operations in the country, this surprised me, nearly continuously since 9/11. Today, the war with the Taliban persists, and tensions between the U.S. and Pakistan have gradually deteriorated. As his time in office drew to a close, President Obama limited further withdrawals of the U.S. troops in Afghanistan. The incoming administration has a choice. Will it maintain the status quo, completely reverse the Obama administration drawdown, or withdraw completely? Does the U.S. face a no-win situation in Afghanistan and Pakistan? For many people who have never visited that part of the world, it's difficult to understand the cultural differences, but it really is the basis for some of the misunderstandings. Right. The last topic this year is nuclear security. Nuclear nonproliferation was a top priority for the Obama administration. While the Iran deal was a diplomatic victory towards this end, major threats persist from both sides, states and non-state actors. Countries like North Korea, Russia, India, Pakistan continue to challenge non-proliferation efforts. Possibly that terrorists will carry out an attack using a dirty bomb made from captured nuclear materials looks increasingly real. In a fractious world, which way forward will the U.S. nuclear security policy go? All of these topics were produced probably last fall sometimes, and like you said, Barbara, we have to be aware we have a new administration, we have new directions, and you have to keep an open mind and learn new facts in order to have an opinion of your own.
Right. We're getting down to about the last minute, so let's...
Yeah, Barbara wants to tell you about
very quick. This year, actually, in addition to the 8 programs that are the normal, the Foreign Policy Association produced a DVD entitled America's Diplomats. We decided that we would purchase this DVD and show it. Since there are so many retired former Foreign Service State Department representatives here at Green Spring. The film is going to be shown next Wednesday, January 18th at 10:30 in the morning in Village Square Theater, and we hope that everyone will attend.
That's a week from now.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, right. And then, finally, we do want to thank Paulette Dam for taping our programs last year, and hopefully again this year. And after this will, when we conclude in May, these tapes should be made available to Channel 6. And during the course of last year, I know they actually produced or they showed some of these tapes during the course of the year.
And if you pick up a little brochure like this, it's right outside the door on the shelf. Each week, they list things that are being shown, and if they re-show one of the programs, that's your opportunity to see it.
That's where you find out what's being shown on Channel 6. Right. Thank you so much for coming in and talking about this, and we'll look forward to hearing more about it.